This short video will explain a couple of requirements sent by our developers to design team in order to work together better on our projects and to help each other understand projects and each other's work. First step would be checking wireframes and designs, which means that during the process of creating the wireframes or creating our designs, it should be a good habit to contact our developers and check with them, and together of course with the digital strategist, um, any specific details that we have on our mind regarding design. Check with developers, is it possible to be done? Are there any problems with it? Do they maybe have a suggestion about it? It's a very usual situation that developers can already recognize some design feature or piece that they have already worked with and on, so they know, is it easy to be done, is it something that's hard to be developed. Maybe they can make some kind of suggestion from the developer's point of view. So first step is checking wireframes in our designs as often as needed with developers in order to prevent later problems or later issues with timing and development of the projects. Second part would be basically most important requirement. Just to say, none of this is mandatory, this is all required, but second step, design files to have a good structure. That's basically most important requirement from developers team. What is it about? Let's say that we have some kind of design, which is a wireframe or project full design in our XD. So we have various layers, but it's a good practice to put those layers in folders, to name folders as the page structure, going from top to bottom, from header to footer, and to place our layers inside of those folders. We don't have to name every single layer, of course, but it's very good practice to name our folders and to follow from top to bottom structure that these pages that we are designing actually have. So developers when developing our projects, they're also going from top to bottom, from header to footer, making blocks of content, blocks of code, and it is helpful and wise to stay on the same side, to keep the same naming to keep the same naming of the blocks, so that, for example, when designer and developer are talking about some feature or block or section of the website or the project, they have the same terminology. Is it a video, gallery, collections, whatever it is. It's good to be on the same side, instead of each one was naming sections by our own personal preferences. This kind of structure actually is also very helpful, not only in designing full HD websites, full HD designs, but also when we are going to responsive. We can easily just copy our pages, know where our sections are. Altogether, this is just very good designing practice to name things and structure them from top to bottom for easier recognition and understanding. It's not only the developers, it's also other designers. Sometimes we have to just continue work of previous designers. So if we are all following the same structure and the same procedures, it will be also helpful and easier for all of us. Next, and basically almost the last thing in this video, is when our project design is approved and when we have to send our design files to the developers, it's very helpful to send files together with style guides, just so that we are on the same side, and with providing all the files, all the separate files that are included in our designs. JPEGs, PNGs, SVGs, or if there is anything else like videos, for example. developers can easily take from our designs SVGs and PNGs, especially SVGs, but there is slight problem with JPEGs, and here is why. SVGs can be resized to any size, similar with PNGs if they are already provided larger size in our XD files, but with JPEGs it's different story. JPEGs are bitmap graphic. They cannot be enlarged in any design file, and very often in the development, developers have to actually work with JPEG files with bitmap graphics that are actually larger than provided in the design, and it can happen in the full HD design, but mostly it happens in the responsive. Actually, when breaking the page in the responsive, it's very often that some elements have to be wider than their basic starting point. So when providing designs to developers, it's good to have good file structure, style guide, separate files for JPEGs, PNGs, and SVGs, icons or logos that were used. At the end, if we have something in our designs that is very specific and that we need to explain and that we have online example, it's good to mark it, to note it, and to go maybe together with developers through such examples. So, for example, here is maybe better understanding what is it about. Here in the wireframes we have some sliding gallery with side navigation, text, buttons, options, and if we would try to explain how it works, it would take us a lot of time to go back and forth, and even explanation couldn't maybe describe all the options and features and details that are actually on such element. Here is actually the original idea on some website, and we can see how it works. There is sliding, clicking, opening, horizontal, vertical. It can also be checked in responsive. It works with scrolling the page. It also changes sections. So this is something that could be quite hard to explain, and not only explanation is the catch. It's also a situation where a developer can actually check the script that is running behind such a feature and compare, are there any newer versions of such script? Is it the latest one? Does it have any bugs in different browsers or in the responsive? So it's always good idea provide our resources when possible to the developers, so that developers can, before any development is actually done on such feature, to check it and find the best possible version. That is basically all.